Hey, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Back. If only for a minute. We got some stuff on the rise. Holy cow. What a time though. If you don't know about Omaha, let me tell you, they don't want you to. No, seriously. What a cool place. I'll tell you about it here in a minute. Yeah, this thing, it's an Ella bass. That's right, it's got 10 strings. I wrote this song for this bass. I'm going to play it for you. I'll tell you about the Run for the Roses festival here in a minute that we did last week. Let me show you this. What do you think? It's going to be pretty cool. Got some horns going to be on it. It's going to be some organ on there. Let me tell you something though. This week, Colt and I had did a gig up in Omaha, Nebraska. Brokedown Palace. Yeah, they've got Shakedown Street, Brokedown Palace, and then another one. I'll tell you about it once I know more about Metalog or something like that. Nonetheless, holy cow. At their festival, they just shut up the parking lot and said, hey, we're having a festival here, which is really cool. But the reception and the people, you know, what I've noticed about as I travel around, these little pockets that I think are like, you know, this is where my people are kind of thing. It's these places where they're not defined by the struggles. You know, everybody has struggles, but they're not defined by it. What they seem to be defined by is the way they come through the struggle. You know, the success story. I'm talking, you know, Sky Ross, who owns Shakedown Street. Dude, you're a cool guy. I watched you, you know. As I'm sitting there watching the band, I'm like watching this guy, the hardest working guy in the place, you know, and his partner. And, you know, it's pretty wild. They seem like cool dudes, you know. I just have to say thank you. Thank you for that. We met some really cool people. Kevin, holy cow, one of the best photographers I've ever seen, you know. There's a lot of you out there, you know, capturing light, but, you know, some people, they get the emotion in it, and he's one of them. You know, we're lucky to have been photographed by this guy. I mean, some of the people that he works with, you know, it's the next level thing. But nonetheless, you know, the sound, excellent. The vibes, on fire. So what I got to say is, you know, if you've never been there, you might want to try to go there. It's a place. I walked around for, I don't know, I guess a better part of 4 hours at the botanical garden there. Basically, I was coming in on 80 and I saw these two trains up at the top, and I saw people standing there. And I had a little bit of time to kill before I got to get in the motel. So I thought, you know, I'm going to find my way up to there. So now that on GPS you can find a location and hit the dot, and it took me back through this neighborhood down gravel road type of deal. Oddly enough, in the middle of Omaha, down by the railroad and stuff, and by the botanical gardens, there's actually gravel roads and stuff. Nonetheless, I get in on the back side of it. I find my way up, you know, up these stairs. I take a few pictures, which I put some of it in the video, those two locomotives. Nonetheless, I found a little trail, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to take this trail. I took the trail, and eventually I figure I kind of popped out at the backside of what they call Japanese gardens there, and I just eventually I walked the entire grounds of the botanical gardens there. They have these little trains, this really cool little area through the woods. These model trains. They've got these gnomes that are, it's just a cool place. But as I'm doing this, I didn't realize I've never seen the admission thing because I came in the back door. So, thank you. I was kind of afraid they had to hang a little hanging tag on the car because I didn't. Nonetheless, everybody I met, I talked to people. It's one of those things. You can tell who's the local, and everybody was nice. And I understand the Kevin Chris Lager thing. I get it now. I saw him live. What a monster! He took the entire crowd and just said, "Hey, we're going to party," and they did. It was like one of those things where you're excited for the fact that he did that. But it's that Nebraska nice. It really is that way. But boy, don't piss him off. This thing is badass. Basically, you got to play 2 sets of strings, like a 12-string guitar. But I found if you do it where the little string is on the top and the big string is on the bottom, when you pluck up, you still get to both of them, but if you pluck up, you get the big one louder, and then if you go down, you can go, and then you can get the high strings. So. Love you guys. Hey, listen, I know my connection's probably slow. I got some new internet. It's in the box. It came in. It's called like AT&T Air or something like that. I'm not sure what it is. It says it's wireless. Seems to be really cool. She sold me on it. It was a few bucks cheaper. I thought, I want to try this. here's what I got to say. I go back to that. Live by your success. Don't live by your struggles. You know, success story is not giving up. Here's the vibe. The vibe is finding a solution. You know, if you find a solution to happiness, guess what? Everybody else vibes on it. It's all you got to do. You know, Colt and I were on stage, and I looked over, and not only was I having one of the happiest times, you know, the duo thing is starting to happen. I've got the drum triggers, he's got all the loopers, I've got loopers, we've got all these cool effects, synth things. We're making music, a lot of it, and it's gelling. You know, it's like, but I looked over at him, and I'm like, he's truly having as much fun as I am. And then I looked out and I realized it's contagious. Everybody's starting to have as much fun as we are. And that right there is the goal, guys. Live by your solutions, not by the struggles that you have. Everybody has struggles. What we need to do is go beyond that. Find yourself a new way. You know, the new way is, you know, get your head clean. This is a mental awareness, you know. That's right now is going on. A lot of people are having troubles because this is the time that it takes a toll on you. You know, from about the first of the year to about right now, people are breaking. And, you know, things in the world are weird. You know, here's the thing. Not everybody's having a problem. Sometimes they're just having a solution malfunction. They just don't know how to solve it. So it's not, you don't have to tell them what they're doing wrong. You don't have to go follow people around and preach your thing. You don't got to listen to me. You know, here's the deal. Just do it by example. Like we were doing, you know, looking at Colt. I'm like, this is what I'm striving for right now, is to be the happiest guy in this place. And it's not that I'm not competing. I just find that if I make myself happy by having fun and doing things that I appreciate, you know, the art of things, like that whole Benson Art District in Omaha, holy shit, it's really cool. Every little shop is, you know, it's putting your personal stamp on things. You know, not the struggle, but the solution to the problem. You know, that's the deal. If you're not the solution, you're probably the problem. That's, you know, that's a good one. That's what I'm saying now. The reality, better do both. Do a double header today. Do a double header, make your head feel better today. A little dabble do you better do you better. Better do both. Do a double header today. Do a double header, make your head feel better today. Do a double header, make your head feel better today. We grind it up real fine. We twist it up real tight. Oh, my head. Oh yeah, that's right. I feel good today. I feel good today. Little dabba do you better do it, do you better. Better do both. Do a double header today. Do a double header, make your head feel better today. Do a double header, make your head feel better today. Everybody. A little dabba do you better do it, do you better. Better do both. Do a double header today. Yep, that's what I got, guys. You know, I'm gonna take this thing. Actually, you know, I met a guy this weekend. Let me throw it out there. Yeah, it was T-Roy. Holy shit, cool guy. Makes these spaces. I had met him years ago, and when I see him again, or when I'll send him a message here in a little bit. I think I bought a 210 from him at Deets Music some time ago, like in Lincoln or somewhere. I'm sure of it. I feel like it was upstairs. I had to remember, like the bass stuff was all upstairs, or the used stuff or something. Maybe he was up there like working on maybe Luthierin or something. But he makes these basses, the T-Bone or something. Holy shit, really badass. I played one. You can do them like an upright, or you can play them like normal. And maybe my next thing. He said, come by anytime. He said, I've got all the bases. I agree. I do too. You know, it's like one of those things when you work at a music store long enough, you just start collecting things, especially things that walk in the door and they need some cash quick. You know, when I was living out in Denver, every day I was buying stuff. Hell, I don't think I ever made money. Luckily, I was working there so I could afford studio gear and stuff like that, because that too is what you do. Solution. Guys, love you. Colt and I are probably going to do a duo this weekend. We both have a little hole in the schedule. We were going to do Strings on the Kings. Looks like there's going to be a little storm headed that way, and maybe not. Sometimes it misses totally. So good luck, guys. Love you guys out there. Everybody on the bill is amazing, but we may still end up down that way. If I find out anything, I'll give you a little heads up. You know, Eureka Springs, keep an eye out. We may head there. It's kind of fun. And the duo's kicking. We got next week. We got Here Come the Mummies with the full band. We've got a racetrack gig. We've got Monk's Party at Camp Manitoba, the camp where they do Sugar Creek. Nonetheless, guys, have a great day. And my little Redbird's back. You know what he's telling you? Actually, he's telling me that the water, the little feeder thing is empty. So let me go get him some feeder stuff. Love you guys. See y'all later.